What if I told you that one of the most dangerous health risks after the age of 70 isn't hidden in your blood tests, doesn't require expensive medication, and isn't something your doctor can spot in a 5-minute appointment? What if the thing that could determine whether you stay independent, active, and confident in your later years comes down to something you've been doing every single day of your life without even thinking about it? Walking. More specifically, one simple change in how you walk. It sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? But stay with me, because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you move, the way you age, and perhaps even the length and quality of your life. Many people believe that losing balance, becoming slower, and feeling less steady on their feet is just a normal part of getting older. They assume it's something they have to accept. But what if that's not entirely true? What if one small adjustment could help reduce your risk of falls, improve your strength, protect your brain, and help you maintain your independence for years longer than you ever imagined? Today's conversation is based on a growing body of research and observations from health experts who work with older adults every day. And the most surprising part is that the change we're discussing doesn't require a gym membership, fancy equipment, or hours of exercise. Before I reveal what it is, think about this for a moment. Every year, millions of adults over the age of 70 experience a fall. Some recover quickly, others never fully regain the independence they once had. A simple trip or stumble can lead to weeks in bed, months of rehabilitation, and in some cases a dramatic decline in overall health. The consequences often extend far beyond the injury itself. Confidence disappears, physical activity decreases, muscles weaken. Social life shrinks, a person's world becomes smaller and smaller. But here's the encouraging news. Many falls are preventable, and one of the strongest predictors of future falls isn't age itself, it's how you walk. Now, when most people think about walking, they focus on speed. They might think, as long as I can get from one place to another, I'm doing fine. But experts are paying attention to something else. They're looking at posture, stride, rhythm, and one particularly important factor that often gets ignored. The simple change that could make a remarkable difference is this. Start walking with purpose and lengthen your stride slightly while maintaining an upright posture. That may sound almost disappointingly simple. You might be thinking, that's it. But don't underestimate the power of small changes repeated thousands of times every day. The way you move influences nearly every system in your body. Let's talk about what happens as people age. Over time, many older adults begin taking shorter, shuffling steps. It often happens gradually, so slowly that they don't even notice it. The feet stay closer to the ground. The posture becomes slightly hunched forward. The arms move less. The body becomes cautious. While caution may seem sensible, this pattern can actually increase instability. Think about a shopping cart with a bent wheel. It doesn't roll smoothly. It wobbles and becomes harder to control. The human body works in a similar way. When walking mechanics change, balance and efficiency can suffer. Walking with a slightly longer stride and a tall posture helps activate important muscles in the hips, legs, and core. These muscles act like the body's natural support system. When they engage properly, balance improves, stability improves, confidence improves. Imagine two people in their 70s walking down the same sidewalk. One takes small, hesitant steps with their eyes fixed on the ground. Their shoulders are rounded forward. Their arms barely move. The other stands tall, looks ahead, swings their arms naturally, and takes confident, purposeful steps. Which person appears more stable? Which person looks stronger? Which person seems more likely to maintain independence over the coming years? The difference isn't necessarily age. It isn't genetics. Often, it's movement habits. One reason this matters so much is because walking isn't just exercise for your legs, it's exercise for your brain. Every step requires coordination between muscles, joints, nerves, vision, and balance systems. When you walk with purpose, you're challenging and strengthening these systems simultaneously. Researchers have discovered that walking speed and walking quality can reveal surprising information about overall health. Some experts even refer to walking speed as a vital sign. That's because changes in walking patterns often appear before other signs of decline become obvious. If someone suddenly starts walking more slowly or taking shorter steps, it can signal underlying issues involving strength, balance, cognition, or general health. On the other hand, improving walking mechanics can support many aspects of healthy aging. Now let me tell you about something that happens when people begin focusing on posture. Many older adults don't realize how much time they spend looking down. They look at the ground while walking because they're afraid of tripping. Ironically, this can create new problems. Looking down encourages a forward head position and rounded shoulders. This shifts the body's center of gravity and can actually make balance more difficult. Instead, try looking several feet ahead. Keep your chest open. Imagine a string gently pulling the top of your head toward the sky. This simple adjustment can instantly improve alignment. When posture improves, breathing often improves too. The lungs have more room to expand, more oxygen enters the body. Energy levels may feel better, even mood can improve. Another benefit of purposeful walking is increased arm swing. Many people don't think about their arms when they walk, yet arm movement plays a critical role in balance and momentum. Natural arm swing helps stabilize the body and creates a smoother walking pattern. Try this experiment sometime. Walk across a room without moving your arms. It feels awkward. Now walk normally and allow your arms to swing naturally. Notice how much easier it feels. Your body was designed to move this way. What's fascinating is that purposeful walking can create a positive chain reaction. Better posture leads to stronger muscle activation. Stronger muscles improve balance. Better balance increases confidence. Greater confidence encourages more physical activity. More activity supports heart health, brain health, and overall well-being. And here's something many people overlook. Confidence itself is a powerful health tool. Fear of falling often causes people to move less. They avoid walks. They avoid outings. They spend more time sitting. Unfortunately, inactivity accelerates muscle loss and weakness. Purposeful walking helps break that cycle. Think back to when you were younger. Chances are you didn't spend much time worrying about every step. You simply moved. There was a natural rhythm and confidence in your stride. While aging brings changes, many aspects of strong movement can be maintained far longer than people realize. One of the most encouraging things about walking is that it's accessible. You don't need expensive machines. You don't need a personal trainer standing beside you. You simply need awareness and consistency. The next time you go for a walk, pay attention to your body. Stand tall, lift your gaze, relax your shoulders, allow your arms to move naturally. Take slightly longer, more deliberate steps without forcing anything. Walk as though you're moving towards something important. You may be surprised by how different it feels. Some people notice changes almost immediately. They feel more stable. Others notice they breathe more easily. Some report feeling more energetic. Over time, these small improvements can add up in meaningful ways. The truth is that healthy aging isn't usually the result of one dramatic action. It's the result of countless small choices repeated day after day. A healthier breakfast, a few extra minutes of movement, better sleep, staying socially connected, and yes, walking with purpose. Every step you take sends a message to your body. It tells your muscles whether they're needed. It tells your brain whether coordination matters. It tells your cardiovascular system whether it should remain strong. Movement is information, and the quality of that movement matters. As we continue this discussion, I'm going to share additional ways to strengthen your walking ability, improve balance, and reduce common mistakes that silently increase fall risk after 70. Some of these habits are surprisingly simple, but their impact can be profound. The next one may be even more important than the walking change we've discussed so far because it's something many older adults do every single day without realizing how much it affects their stability. Now, before we move on, I want you to think about your last walk. Not yesterday's walk if you didn't go out, not the walk you took a month ago, but the most recent time you walked from one room to another, down a hallway, through a parking lot, or around your neighborhood. Were you fully present, or were you distracted? Were you rushing? Were you staring at the ground? Were your shoulders rounded forward? These details may seem small, but together they create the movement pattern your body repeats hundreds or even thousands of times each day. One of the biggest mistakes many adults make after 70 is assuming that balance is something you either have or you don't. In reality, balance is a skill. Like strength, flexibility, and endurance, it can improve when practiced and decline when neglected. Imagine not using a muscle for several months. You wouldn't expect it to remain strong. The same principle applies to balance. Every time you challenge your body in a safe and controlled way, you're sending signals to your nervous system. You're teaching your brain and muscles to work together more efficiently. That's one reason purposeful walking is so powerful. It isn't just movement, it's training. Every step becomes an opportunity to reinforce coordination and stability. Let's talk about the feet for a moment because they rarely get the attention they deserve. Your feet are the foundation of every step you take. Yet many people don't realize how much information their feet provide to the brain. Tiny receptors in the feet constantly send messages about pressure, position, and movement. These signals help your body understand where it is in space. As we age, those signals can become less effective. Certain health conditions may also reduce sensation in the feet. When that happens, balance becomes more challenging. This is why paying attention to foot placement during walking is so important. Instead of allowing your feet to shuffle forward, think about placing each foot intentionally. Feel the ground beneath you. Notice the contact between your heel, the middle of your foot, and your toes. This awareness can improve stability and confidence. Another simple adjustment involves your pace. Many older adults fall into one of two categories. Some walk too slowly out of fear. Others hurry because they don't want to appear slow. Neither extreme is ideal. The goal is a comfortable, steady pace that allows you to maintain good posture and control. Walking too slowly can sometimes reduce the natural momentum that helps balance. Walking too quickly may increase the risk of missteps. Purposeful walking exists somewhere in the middle. It's controlled but confident, relaxed but deliberate. I once heard a physical therapist describe healthy walking as moving with intention. That phrase has stayed with me because it perfectly captures the idea every step should have purpose, not tension, not fear, purpose. The remarkable thing is that your body responds to intention. When you focus on standing taller and walking confidently, your muscles often activate differently. Your stride changes, your breathing changes, your entire posture begins to shift. And speaking of posture, let's discuss the upper body a little more. Many adults develop a forward head position over time. Years spent reading, working at computers, looking at phones, or watching television can contribute to this pattern. The head gradually moves forward while the shoulders round. This may seem like a cosmetic issue, but it affects much more than appearance. The average human head weighs several pounds. When it moves forward, the muscles of the neck and upper back must work harder to support it. This can contribute to fatigue, discomfort, and reduced stability. When walking, try imagining that your ears are aligned over your shoulders. Keep your chin level rather than tilted downward. This simple cue can improve alignment throughout the body. You might notice something interesting. When your posture improves, your stride often improves automatically. It's difficult to take confident steps when the body is folded forward. But when you stand tall, movement becomes easier. Let's also address something many viewers may be wondering. What if you already use a cane or walker? Does purposeful walking still matter? Absolutely. Assistive devices can be valuable tools. In many cases, they help people remain active and independent, but even when using a cane or walker, posture, stride quality, and movement awareness remain important. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is making the most of the movement you can safely perform. Healthy aging isn't about competing with your younger self. It's about maintaining function, confidence, and quality of life. And that's where many people miss the bigger picture. They focus entirely on lifespan while overlooking health span. Lifespan is how many years you live. Health span is how many of those years you remain active, capable, and independent. Most people don't dream about simply reaching a certain age. They dream about enjoying life at that age. They want to travel, spend time with family, attend events, pursue hobbies, and continue doing the things that bring them joy. The ability to walk confidently plays a central role in all of that. Consider how many daily activities depend on walking. Visiting friends, grocery shopping, going to appointments, exploring new places, attending family gatherings, even moving around your own home. When walking becomes difficult, life often becomes smaller. That's why preserving mobility is one of the most important investments you can make in your future. Now here's another fascinating piece of the puzzle. Purposeful walking may also benefit brain health. Scientists continue to study the relationship between movement and cognition, and the findings are increasingly encouraging. Walking requires coordination, attention, planning, and sensory processing. Multiple regions of the brain work together during every step. Regular movement helps stimulate these systems. Many experts believe that staying physically active supports healthy brain aging. While walking isn't a guarantee against cognitive decline, it remains one of the most accessible ways to support overall health. Think of movement as nourishment for the brain. Just as muscles need activity, the brain benefits from engagement. This brings us to another common mistake. Many people stop challenging themselves physically because they're afraid of getting hurt. While caution is understandable, excessive avoidance can create its own problems. Imagine someone who becomes afraid of stairs. To avoid risk, they stop using them altogether. Over time, the muscles required for climbing weaken. Balance decreases. Eventually, stairs become even more difficult than before. The same pattern can happen with walking. Avoiding movement often leads to reduced strength, reduced endurance, and reduced confidence. Purposeful movement, performed safely and consistently, helps maintain the abilities that support independence. One helpful strategy is to turn ordinary walks into opportunities for awareness. Instead of simply moving from point A to point B, pay attention to your posture. Notice your breathing. Feel your feet contacting the ground. Observe the rhythm of your steps. This doesn't require extra time, it simply requires attention. Many people are surprised by how quickly awareness reveals habits they never noticed before. Perhaps one shoulder sits higher than the other. Perhaps they consistently look downward. Perhaps they shuffle when tired. Awareness creates opportunity for improvement. And improvement doesn't have to be dramatic. Small changes matter. In fact, some of the most powerful health improvements occur gradually. A slightly stronger stride, a slightly taller posture, a slightly longer daily walk. These changes may seem insignificant in the moment, but over months and years they can transform how a person moves and feels. Let's talk about strength for a moment, because walking and strength are deeply connected. Every step requires contributions from the ankles, calves, thighs, hips, and core muscles. When these muscles weaken, walking often becomes slower and less stable. One reason purposeful walking helps is that it encourages greater muscle engagement. A confident stride activates muscles more effectively than a shuffling gait. Think about the difference between gently rolling a ball and throwing it with intention. The second action recruits more energy and coordination. Purposeful walking operates on a similar principle. It encourages the body to participate more fully in the movement. Of course, walking alone isn't the entire answer. Strength training, flexibility exercises, and balance practice can all play important roles. But walking remains one of the foundations of healthy aging because it's something most people can incorporate into daily life. And perhaps the greatest advantage is consistency. The best exercise isn't necessarily the most advanced one, it's the one you'll actually do. A simple daily walk performed consistently often delivers more benefit than an ambitious fitness plan that lasts only a few weeks. That's why I encourage you to focus less on perfection and more on repetition. You don't need perfect posture every second. You don't need a flawless stride. You simply need awareness and gradual improvement. Every walk becomes a chance to practice. Every step becomes an investment. Every day becomes an opportunity to reinforce strength, balance, and independence. And there's another benefit that deserves attention. Walking with purpose often changes how people feel emotionally. Many older adults describe feeling more capable, more energetic, and more optimistic when they move regularly. Part of this comes from the physical effects of movement, but part of it comes from confidence. When you trust your body, you're more likely to engage with life. You say yes to outings, you visit friends, you participate in activities, you maintain connections. These experiences matter tremendously because health is about more than muscles and bones. It's about living fully. As we continue, we're going to discuss a surprising habit that silently weakens balance in many adults over 70. Most people do it every day without realizing the long-term consequences. Once you understand it, you'll start noticing it everywhere, and correcting it could be another major step toward protecting your mobility and independence for years to come.